Hey folks, it's Abel and I'm standing today so I can show you just how tiny I am. I'm very little. I got like a 3-foot wingspan and I am 5 feet tall. I'm very, very tiny. I also weigh like 100 pounds, so I'm very light. You can pick me up, throw me around. And if you haven't noticed, I'm adorable. Look at this. Look at this pretty hair, this cute little face. I'm cute. And what does that mean? It means I'm a great target for kidnappers. And I lived in a shady area, and I lived in a not-so-shady area. And I've moved around the state a little bit, just doing things that aren't living there. And I have to say, there have been some attempts. And because it's October, and because this is some spooky shit, I figured that I would share the times that I have been almost kidnapped. So we're going to start with one that happened in my hometown of Owasso. So this is a real cool little town. It's very nice. It's a quiet little town except for the Walmart, because sometimes we find dead bodies in the parking lot. That's fun. Usually they're from somewhere else, but they always end up there. We're a good dumping ground. And so I was in this Walmart getting my art supplies because back then I didn't have a Michaels, so I always went to Walmart. And so I'm wandering on out of the store, having gotten my canvas and paints, and I'm following this big old burly dude, and he's getting into a truck that's right near mine, and the dude in the truck across the parking lot from me, he sees him and he sees me. Bear in mind, I'm this little tiny child in this cruddy little car. And this guy's a big old burly boy with a mechanic shirt on. It's all about cars. And he's getting into his nice truck. Now this guy's holding his jumper cables as if he is gonna use them to rope you on in. This guy across the parking lot from us, just one aisle over, and he looks at me and he goes, Hey, can you jump my car? And I said, I'm sorry, I have a very bad battery, sir. I cannot. And he was like, No, really? Can you jump my car? I was like, I'm sorry, my battery is a big old garbage thing. I'm sorry, I don't think it'll survive. And he was like, I need you to jump my car. And I was like, I know what Ted Bundy is, sir. I will not fall for your tricks. So I got onto my car, and bear in mind, a big old burly boy with a nice truck is still out there doing his thing. He's putting stuff in his car, and this guy does not, in the time that I'm sitting in my car getting everything started and ready to go, this guy does not ask this big old burly man who looks like he'd know what he's doing for help. He does not ask anyone else passing by for help. He does not ask anyone else for help. He gets into his truck, and I drive out of my parking spot, and I drive away. And I can see in my rear view as he gets into his car, starts it, and drives the fuck off. That boy didn't need his car jumped. He was just trying to jump a little girl. Yeah, so I didn't like that not one bit. He was trying to just get me over to his truck, and I don't know what would happen next. But I didn't like that so much. That was not my favorite thing that has ever happened to me. I have to be real with you. Alright, so this next one. This happened when I was, I want to say 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere around there. We had CJ, the puppy. He was real cool. At this point, my mom and my stepdad used to go to hotels a lot, and I used to go with them because I was too little to stay home and watch the puppy on my own, so we usually took me and the puppy. That has changed because I got older and I started just babysitting the puppy, but I used to go to hotels with them, just like spend a night up somewhere and have a good time, whatever. And we went to this Best Western. I loved this Best Western because it had the coolest arcade. And that is a cool thing when you are a child who goes to a lot of hotels. You love the ones that have the good arcade. And that one had the good arcade. It had a stacker game. That shit was lit. I loved stacker. I got so many cool prizes. I was the stacker champ. And so I was in the arcade, and my parents were just hanging out at the little bar restaurant thingy, talking to some girls' parents, and I was hanging out with this girl. And we were just having a grand old time in the arcade, playing air hockey, doing all that good stuff. Also an air hockey champ. This is what happens when you go to hotels a lot as a kid. But we're just hanging out, and then she's like, hey, do you want to go back to my hotel room and hang out and play with dolls? And I was like, yes. And I was like, hey, Mom, can I go back to this hotel room and play with dolls? And she was like, sure. And so, we walked on down to that hotel room, not knowing we were about to make some big mistakes, and we everything's chill, we're playing with our dolls. And we have, so, okay, this hotel room is one of those ones where there's, like, the entrance in through, like, the main hotel building, and also there's, like, a door that leads to the outside on a little patio, and it's on the first floor, and it leads out into the parking lot. So that's all fine and dandy, right? So it's kind of toasty, it's summertime, so we open up the door, and it's just, like, getting a little breeze, and it's all good, right? It's all nice, it's a good time, we're having fun, we're playing with our dolls. Aha. But someone outside sees us two small, lovely little children. I was way cuter as a child. I was a real cute kid, and this dude noticed that, and, he sure liked himself a cute little kid. He was like, man, I see that cute little kid. I'd like to have one or two of my own, but instead of going through the process to make one my own, I'm just gonna get one. So he's out by his truck outside, and he said, hey, and we go, oh, hell no, because we're small children, but we understand stranger danger, and we know what the fuck is up. That's not her dad, that's not my dad. We don't know this dad. Whose dad is this? We don't know. So we go to close the door and lock it, because we don't want to mess with this dude. And this dude is maybe like 10 feet away. He starts sprinting, and he's running at us. And he is kind of scaring the shit out of me. And so he just sprints at us, and he's like, don't close that door. So we close the door. We're not stupid enough to let this man in. So we lock the door, and we absolutely book it back onto the hotel little bar restaurant thingy. And I'm like, hey, stepdad, this good shit just happened. So my stepdad and her dad just kind of go out and go check that shit out. And then my stepdad takes me back to our hotel room, and I want to say we had the puppy with us. I can't remember for sure. But I do remember being in there, and I was watching Black Butler or something because I was a little weeb. And I'm just chilling in the hotel room. I have the blinds closed because my stepdad went back out to go find this dude. To try to, like, I don't know, fuck him up, hopefully. But, we're having this good time. I'm in my hotel room, alone or with a puppy. To be fair, this puppy's not a good protector. He's about 5 pounds at this point if he was in this story. I can't remember because my brain is little and I don't have good memory for childhood things. But, this puppy was not going to protect me either way. But I'm standing up, I'm just sitting around watching my stuff and trying to forget what just happened to me. Because I love to forget the bad things, you know? I like to pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, I'm trying to pretend. And so I'm sitting there in the hotel room, and I hear on the balcony outside, because it was like a 2-story, so there's like a balcony that runs all the way across. I hear on the outside, dun, 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 little footsteps. Little footsteps going back and forth and back and forth in front of my hotel room specifically. It's not like he's going all the way down and all the way back. No, he's going right by my hotel room. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And you know what? I am convinced in my little brain that it was absolutely that dude who wanted to snatch me up. I don't have evidence of this. Could have been someone who was just having a bad day and needed to go pace, but like, bad location, my dude. Should have paced in front of your own dang hotel room. And so, I didn't like that. But on the bright side, I didn't get kidnapped. I brought this up to my mom, like, a few years ago. This was probably a 10-year ago situation. She was like, I don't think I told you could go see her. And I also don't remember this. I was like, oh, it happened because it was fear burned into my brain. But, it's one of those things where it's real creepy and I don't really like it. But at least I'm not, like, with that dude. At least we did close that door. Mr. Don't close the door. Alright, so this third one is a little bit less scary maybe. I'm not sure. It's a little scarier because it's in the middle of nowhere. My dad used to live out in the middle of nowhere with his wife. And I didn't have a bedroom in his house because I went every other weekend. So he built me this super cool fort. And this fort was fucking sweet. It was great. I loved that fort. It was like up on like 6-foot stilts, and then it was an 8x8 room, and it was just like a cool little place for me to hang. But this was the first weekend that we'd had it, so it wasn't all the way built. It didn't have walls or a roof yet, so it was just the platform, but we pitched a tent, me and my cousin, because we were cool and we were gonna hang out there. And I was so excited, like, this is gonna be so much fun. We had our little portable DVD player in there. We were having, I don't know, snacks, movie time. like, being kids. Probably I was like 9 in this story, so that's important to keep in mind. So I'm very scared of everything at 9 years old, especially this. So we're just hanging out, and we make each other more and more paranoid about things because we both love spooky shit, but we're not old enough to really handle spooky shit. So we're just chilling, and then this van pulls into the driveway, and they turn the lights off. So naturally we panic, and we slam the portable DVD player shut, turn off all the lights, and go dead silent because we don't want to be murdered. Because we're in the middle of the woods and we can't go to see my dad unless we go past these fellas. And so I'm just not having a good time. At this point I have a cell phone. Why would I have a cell phone? I'm a baby. And so I'm just doing my thing and just trying not to get murdered. We're hanging out and they get out of the van. I walk around a bit. Yeah, I don't like it either. And so they just start walking around for a minute, and I think they must have seen us. How could you not see us? So they get back into their van. And I think the thing that kept them from coming and snatching us is I had a doggo, a big old doggo. He was an English setter. His name was Fletcher. He was a good boy. He was blind and deaf and kind of useless in the art of protection at that point. He would not have known. But I think the reason they did not come closer was because they saw that big old doggo. And they were like, maybe not. Not worth it. Not going to get eaten by a doggo today. So they got into their van and they left. Looking back, I could remember that van driving back and forth down the long country road that led to my dad's old place. He saw us building that. He saw us setting up our tent. And I wonder, why were they driving back and forth down this middle of nowhere road all day, watching? And why did they get the fuck out of their van? Because I have this theory, I tried to at least have this theory that they maybe were lost a little bit, because it was middle of nowhere and they lost GPS signal or something. They're trying to figure out where they were, try to get everything sorted. But if I'm lost and I pull into a driveway to sort myself out, I'm not getting out of my fucking car. Absolutely not. No. And I also, I don't know, I have a bad feeling about it, so I don't particularly like that happened. Now, this last one was recent. I looked about like this. It was Black Friday of last year, so almost exactly a year ago. And it was with Brad LaPlante, actually. We had gone to see Sleep On It and As It Is, and I think Chapel and Water Parks, and we went to downtown Detroit. We went to St. Andrews Hall, which is one of my favorite places, and Brad had an interview with Alex fucking Smith, who is an amazing writer, and who manages Sleep On It a little bit. He does their tour management and does their merch and is really, really cool. He's a good dude. He's very nice, supports me on Patreon. He's a very cool dude, and I was just kind of hanging out. It's dark out now because it's middle of winter, around 8 o'clock, and we're just kind of chilling, and I'm sitting behind the camera and just kind of hanging and just watching as this interview is being done. I will link to that interview because it's real rad. But Brad and Alex are hanging out in front of the van, and the dudes from Sleep On It are in the van, just chilling. And I don't know if someone from the outside who wasn't looking for them would know that they were in there. So that's important to this story. Now I'm chilling behind the camera, just watching and hanging out, and just kind of keeping an eye on stuff, looking around. And then this big old dude comes wandering towards me. And I don't particularly like that, I have to say. I have to say, that's not my favorite when a big old dude comes wandering toward me. That's not something I like. I'm not into that. It's horrible, because I'm very small. I'm not a big old anything. I'm very little. And anyone who is big and wants to grab me, I'm done. They can grab me, I'm out. And so I'm standing there, and he's like, "Hey, sweetheart." And I'm like, "Hi." And he's like, "What you doing here?" And I'm like, "Working on an interview." And he's like, "What you doing?" And I'm like, that. I'm doing that over there with the camera. And he's just, yeah, and he's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And I don't really like when big old dudes that I don't know get real close to me and call me sweetheart. I don't really like that. I don't like it at all, really. It's just a yucky feeling. And this boy, he was all for doing that, so that was great. I loved it. And he just kept on getting closer and getting real mumbly at me. And then he looked at the van. And I think you can see in the interview one moment where everyone is a little on alert. And he realizes that there is a van filled with 5 dudes that I'm working with. At least, that he thinks I'm working with. I'm just tailing along with Brad. So I'm not really working with anyone, but for all he knows, these guys are with me. And then he realizes, oh shit. They see me, they're watching me. This group of 5 dudes in this van, plus these 2 dudes out front, they're watching me. And without a word, he walks off. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's real creepy, and I think that the only reason he didn't murder snatch me was because he saw these boys and he was like, better not. So that was really cool. Shout out to Sleep on It for like not letting me get murdered. Even if they weren't like paying attention to it, they were a very big part of why I didn't get like snatched and murdered. So thanks guys, appreciate it. Everyone go check out Sleep On It, they got good tunes. But those are 4 of the times, there's more, that I was almost kidnapped or murdered. I don't know which was going to happen for all of these. I don't know what was going to happen, but please use these stories to remind yourself to just please keep an eye on your surroundings, especially if you're small and adorable and easily snatched. One of these things happened in a parking lot in a small town. One of these things happened in a hotel in a big town. One of these things happened in the middle of the dang woods at my dad's place. One of these things happened in downtown Detroit. You cannot tell me that there are safe and unsafe areas just because you're in or out of a city, because there's stuff everywhere. So please, make sure that you're being safe, make sure you're wary of your surroundings, and if you feel unsafe, don't hesitate to get help and make a scene, because it's better to do that than to get murder snatched, because that's bad. So those are some spooky stories. I hope everyone has an amazing October/spooky season/Halloween. It's the best time of the year. It's spooky time. But make sure that you're keeping your spooks to the fictional realm and the internets and the horror movies and such. Please don't let your real life get too dang spooky. I will see you guys again soon. I love you, and goodbye.